Good morning, everybody. It's 10 to 5 in the morning here in Glasgow, Scotland. My name is Skenme. You can call me Paul. I'm with you for the next few hours to run you through some fantastic runs at the UK Speedrunner Gathering Autumn 2022. I have the great pleasure of introducing you to the first runner of this block, running Perfect Dark Zero, Cass. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Wonderful. At this early hour.
At this early hour.
Cass, it is all yours, my friend. Take it away.
Thank you. Now, to everyone who skim-read the schedule and thought I was playing Perfect Dark, sorry. But we can still have some fun. Now, I did something very smart, and I thought, hey, if I stay awake all of Saturday and all of Sunday, I won't have to pay for a hotel. So to keep my mind laser focused, I will be donating $5 for every trick I mess up, for every death I take, and for every rocket I miss on the first boss. With that said, we'll just jump straight into it. So if you guys ready, we will start as soon as I hit this button in 3, 2, 1, go. So first mission is a training mission. They're training us to aim guns there, but we don't need guns. We've got splash damage. So, unlike other rare shooter games, there's not much movement tech in this. It's basically just, if you don't have a gun out, you can move faster. So that's mostly what we're going to be doing. This bit here teaches you how to hide and shoot stuff, but if you're supposed to hide and shoot a camera. If you just bounce a grenade off there, door opens for some reason. Now, this is the first trick I'm going to mess up. I'm going to try and push this guy through this door. There's a long mini game you're supposed to play to get the door open, but if you get this guy in just right, which is not doing that. Oh, you know what? That's $5. That's fine. We'll just do it the intended method. So this is the door hacking minigame. Basically just when the, well, she said it, when the thing goes blue, you hit it. It's very cool. So this is another one of the gadgets. This is actually returning from the first game, or pre-turning, I suppose. It's the cam spy. They give you a big tutorial section here, but in the campaign you actually only use it once more. Except the way we do things, we don't actually use it ever again.
Now for the opposite circuit. Have you done this before?
A couple of times.
You made it, Joe.
Oh.
The CPU is dead ahead. I'm arming your cam
A little
spy
bit lost there.
explosives now.
That's fine. So we're running on Agent. It's the easiest and it's the shortest. Like other rare games, or like other rare shooters, the higher the difficulty gets, the more objectives are added. So, you know, the easier it gets, the less objectives there are. There's a thing you can do to this guy. If you smack him around a bit, skips his animation and opens his door a bit quicker. You can punch some spiders there. You're supposed to shoot this spider off the switch there, but you can actually press it through the spider, so I'm not really sure why you'd bother. So yeah, like I said, this is the training mission for us as the player and for Joe as the character. It turns out this is a training simulation. Sorry to spoil the big surprise for you there. But yeah, it's the longest. It's probably the most boring mission. But I guess they had to teach you stuff somehow. If you've got a rocket left, you shoot this guy out the door. Skips one of his lines. We're waiting for an elevator to come down. He's got, say, a certain number of lines before it will. But if you shoot him out the door, he skips one of them for some reason. comes? Question mark. There it goes.
It's not helping. I'm going as fast as I can here. Door's not gonna hold. Hang in there. She'll hold. Don't like the sound.
Now we're supposed to sort of take them with us, but I think they'll be fine on their own. Can have that for protection. So I've got flashbang grenades here. There's a lot of guys here. This is supposed to be your first sort of, you know, combat encounter. If you can just sort of blind everyone, oh, including yourself. Good job. And get through a little bit easier than normal. Oh, only a little bit though. I wonder if that counts as failing a trick. Yeah, that's $10 there. There's some jetpack men that shoot at you here. If you just sort of stand in this corner, they have real trouble hitting you. So yeah, that's the first mission. Longest one, most boring one. It does get a lot more snappy after this. A lot more action. A lot quicker. So I guess this is Agent Any %. I guess technically it is New Game Plus, since you'll need a save file that's played through all the levels at least once in order to actually be able to skip the cutscenes. First time you play, you're not able to skip cutscenes for whatever reason. Now this is a stealth mission, or the first part is anyway. Got to sneakily take that guy out and then look at this guy with some binoculars. You're supposed to just sort of stand there and listen to him, but you can move around while you're doing that. Get yourself closer to the door you want to be at when you're finished. Maybe not that close. I actually genuinely can't remember why we want to do this, but you know, the game wants us to do it, so we do it.
Return to the drop point for pickup.
This is Dark Zero. Identify yourself. Over.
Little cutscene there. That door only gets unlocked after the cutscene plays. So that's why we bother with that. And now it's basically just a run to the end. Now this bit here, I swear, if I look down like this, they have more trouble hitting me. No, apparently not. That's fine. So getting shot by people is a pain. I guess literally and figuratively. Unlike, say, GoldenEye and I think Perfect Dark, where you maybe get damage boosted, here you just get stumbled or staggered, I suppose. It's a pain. You don't want to get shot, which I guess is good advice in general. Now, this is a very cool cutscene. Some very good action. Very cool effects. Anyway, moving on. Now, I am going to change one of our weapons here. What am I going to change it for? I'm going to change it for this sword. And we'll see what that sword gets used for in a little bit. It's very useful. Very handy tool to have.
Keep moving, Joe. Don't let them surround you.
Now, one of the good things about Perfect Dark is the choices they give you. There's always more than one way to approach a mission. Here, for example, you can shoot a lot of guys and get a key card, or you can just blow up this wall. Both work. One is quicker, so that's the one we do. I'll zoop on down here. Now this is a bit of it's possible to sort of get through here without getting shot at all, or you can just get held up all along the way. That actually went really well. I'm quite pleased with that. This bit can get a bit hairy. It's close quarters, and there is a shotgun man in this room. You can see the amount of stagger there. So yeah, you don't want to Don't really want to get shot too much. Like, it is only agent difficulty, so getting shot doesn't hurt. It's just really inconvenient. You're going to hear me say this quite a lot during the run, but now it's basically just a run to the end. Rolling is a good way to not avoid damage, but sort of avoid the staggering a little bit. We'll just pick these locks here. I will take out the sword. And I will use it here. The secondary function of the sword. Every weapon has a secondary function. Secondary function here is a shield, which again reduces the amount of stagger from being hit at the cost of a little bit of your base speed. But it's definitely worth it in sections like this. Now, how it's supposed to work is you use it for a certain amount of time, up to 5 seconds, and then it takes that amount of time again to recharge. But if you put it away and take it straight back out again, it's just fully recharged already. We'll head up here. Punch him, punch him. Joanna's very strong, as you can see. That's another reason I like to play an agent. There we go. That cutscene's very important. Explains a lot of the plot.
What did
moving on. I'm going to change the sword again. Don't need it for this one. We want some mines instead. There we go. The menuing is awkward. They've got very weird controls in the menuing system. Anyway, so this mission, we are escorting our father through the streets. There's boys in the streets. They, you know, could almost call them street lads. Anyway, we're going to help him to move him on as quickly as possible. He seems to be having a lot of trouble. He can die, and does like to, which obviously is a mission failure, so hopefully he'll be okay. Doesn't really seem like he's going to be. But, well, let's think positive thoughts. Usually when he's finished killing everyone down there, that's what will open that fire door, but you can shoot it to trigger it early.
I'm gonna make a run for it, Joe. Watch my back. Damn, you got a clear shot.
Well, that's what'll happen. That's another $5, I think.
Well, on your topic of positive thoughts, Cass, I just wanted to read out very quickly. We've got a $5 donation from Fozlerfer, who says, "We love you, Cass, and PDZ." So thank you, Fozlerfer, for that.
Well, thank you very much. Well, Jack didn't seem to appreciate it, unfortunately.
We're appreciating it, though.
Oh. So yeah, it's not super often that'll happen, but, you know, figures it would happen here, I guess. This one seems to be going a lot better, though. Touch wood. Well, this is actually going really well. So yeah, basically, just as soon as everyone's dead, Jack will move on, and you can get through the level. Okay, didn't die. That's unfortunate.
You got a clear shot.
No, he's going okay. There is a thing I've discovered, a little nice little Easter egg where his AI will get stuck trying to shoot one guy, and they both become invincible somehow. And I've literally watched them for 10 minutes, just trading shots, and neither of them backing down. Doesn't make for a very good speedrun. So, want to try and avoid that, really. This bit here is a shooting gallery. There's always the same amount of people. They always go to the same place. Okay. And again, you can't move on to the next part of the level until everyone is dead. Which, again, I think is an allegory for life. There we go. Once everyone does die, this zip line becomes active. And you can do the gnarly slide. Like it's 2005 again. There's another one here. If you press that button before he says his voice line, it doesn't do anything, and it has a cooldown. So you end up having to wait longer as punishment for your impatience. Here's a mini-boss. You're encouraged to shoot him, but you don't have to. Now here's a nice little out of bounds skip. See if I can get it. No, of course not. What are we up to now? 20? 25? Anyway, there's a little hole in that railing where if you are good at the game and you roll backwards at the right time, you can sort of fit through the hole and skip all the way down below this pipe. Don't know how much time it saves, but it's always cool to get. Now here's mid-level cutscene. I'm going to reload the checkpoint because that gives us our starting weapons back and reloads the rocket launcher. This is that mini-boss again in full boss form. It takes 3 rockets to kill, which is that. When he starts shaking like that, you know you've got it. Unfortunately, I landed the last shot here. What he's got to do is sort of limp all the way back to this corner of the arena before he explodes. So ideally, he'd sort of already be here when he's getting shot. He'll come down swooping. But he blows up. I'm sure I'd be fine from that in real life. But that's okay. Now, next up is probably my least favorite level. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Starts out okay. It's another sort of, not like a mandatory stealth mission, but you really don't want to get seen. It does make your life incredibly hard. But luckily, you can just sort of zip up here and no one will really bother you until after this door. Here's another little mini game where you sort of got to hold down your stick in a certain direction to unlock the door. All the mini games are really bad and I wish they weren't here. I just rocketed myself. Perfect. Here's another one of those. Oh. So if you get moved while in that animation, the animation doesn't get cancelled. You just sort of still do it, and then she just stands there like, oh, I don't know what to do now, and puts it away, which wastes quite a lot of time. Usually wouldn't take out these guys, but it's becoming necessary. Wait for my health to get back. Doesn't have regenerating health, but what it has is shock damage, where it'll do a certain amount of health damage, but then if you don't get shot for a couple of seconds, I can't remember what it is, you'll regain your health, or some of it anyway. Oh no!
Come here, Joe.
Oh dear. So you can see, even on Agent, you can see what happens when you get swarmed. So let's try and do that properly this time.
Mechanical interface. Use your octopus.
So this one's easy, it's just one. The problem with the other block is you've got to get 4 directions. Which isn't the easiest when you're getting sort of jostled around. Oh no. This is a good game, by the way, you should speedrun it. No, it should be good this time. I did have this memorized once, but that once was like 4 years ago.
And probably with a bit more sleep as well.
Probably with a bit more sleep, yes. We're good though, we're fine. Again, rolling is a good way to... It does avoid damage. It's a little bit slow, but it's fine. Now, in everyone else's run, this guy is always like in a perfect position to take him out before he gets a shot off. I've never had that ever. So I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I'm not. Anyway, next boss time. In the last cutscene, we met some very important people. But anyway, so this is like a virtual reality combat arena, and we're 1v1ing. Her name is Mayhem. Her name is literally Mayhem. And it's supposed to be a, you know, you die in the game, you die for real sort of deal. But obviously she's going to cheat. You can see she's already had 2 lives, and she's got these dudes helping her. And the shenanigans do not stop there. Her spawns are random, and now she's also spawning ghost versions of herself.
This is what's called martial art.
The ghost versions drop. That's not even a person. The ghost versions drop the gun she's using, which is better than this one, although I don't seem to be getting lucky. Here we go. There you go, it's got bouncy grenades, good for trick shots. So yeah, this is why this is my least favorite level. It's fine, I guess, but I'm not good. I'm not good at aiming with a controller, is what I'm trying to say. The game's good, I'm not good. That's what I'm saying, I guess. So once those other statues attack you, she's got 1 more life left. And she's done for. Perfect.
Well,
Now, in this next level, I'm gonna... That's probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna want the sword again, I think. So, as you saw in the cutscene, Jack, our father, got captured. So we're gonna have to go and save him. Now, there is some super flashy tricks you can do in this level. I'm not going to do any of them. I can't do them when I have had sleep. And judging on how the last level went, I'm not going to be able to do them here, but that's fine. We'll do the glitchless route, which is another one of these things. This is the slowest one in the game. This is easier than the tutorial one, I think.
Sign up today
So,
and join
of course,
your
I failed
fellow
it.
employees in enjoying the advantages of our next generation cognitive enhancer.
There we go. So basically we're playing Doom. We're going on a keycard hunt. We've got the silver key, which gets us into a room with the gold key. Might be thinking it's very quiet. For a rare game to have no sort of persistent music through the level is in itself rare. Ha ha ha. What that is, the original run on the 360 included well, several glitches, but specifically a game-breaking glitch where you could just sort of phase through any 90-degree corner like that and then fall through the floor to wherever you wanted. Or not wherever you wanted, but you know, you could do it a lot of places. So they patched the game to fix it and somehow deleted the cues to play half of the music in the game. So this level did originally have music all the way through, same with several other levels, but not anymore. So what I did there, our father is being held in a prison cell in this room here, over there. You're supposed to find out which one it is and go and hack the laser bars that he's behind. But if you blow up the computer at the top of that room, it just lowers all the bars. He's going to be over there. For some reason, you have to kill exactly 7 people before it'll say you rescue them. I don't know why 7. You don't have to kill them all. Just 7. Haven't been counting, but that was 7.
Tracking system is offline. Stay alert.
So there you go. More important exposition in that cutscene there. So I'm glad we saw it. This, I guess, is my other least favorite level, although it's not too bad. It's another escort with Jack there. He can die in this, although in my experience not as often. He's annoying in this for another reason, which I'll get to in just a minute. So what you want to do here is you want to kill enough people that he doesn't get shot too much, which seems to be happening anyway. But you don't want to bother taking out so many people that it really slows you down and you're having to stop all the time. I will go the extra mile and take these people all out though, because it looks like he's been taking a lot of damage. Every time his picture pops up in the corner there, it means he's taking damage.
Right behind you, kid.
Hey, you want a demo?
Another one of these guys.
Chandra, we're at the
Now,
bridge.
the idea here is you're supposed to go all the way across here. There's loads of guys here. Absolutely loads of guys. So I'll go across here, press a button to open a gate to the next part of the level. And then you go up there, you press the button, you turn around and go back to hovercraft. And you're supposed to go to hovercraft and wait for your dad to get to hovercraft also. But he likes to be thorough. He likes to kill as many people as he can. So you could be waiting for 30 seconds, you could be waiting for a minute and a half. What you do instead is you press the button, which gives you a checkpoint. You reload the checkpoint, which spawns you right next to the hovercraft and spawns him next to the hovercraft also. So that cuts down. That was a huge thing. In the early days of this run, that was a huge thing. You could lose a minute and a half on that easy, just through RNG. So I was very glad to be able to get rid of that one. What you're supposed to do here is point him. There's 5 little sort of obelisks here to destroy. You're supposed to point him in the direction of them so he can shoot them all. The reason I was just standing there doing nothing for a second is sometimes it likes to, when you're pressing the button to bring your weapons out, the game's just like, no, I don't think so. So that's what it did there, unfortunately. But yeah, you're supposed to point him in the direction of all of the things. But his aim is super bad, so it's a lot quicker to just get out and help. You can sort of jam your way through here, perfect. And again, now it's just run to the end, or hover to the end.
Just let you know, Cass, we've had another $5 donation coming from Riff Sandwich, who says, "You got this, Cass. Quote unquote, perfect run so far."
Thanks very much, Riff. That's actually a lie, but thank you very much.
Stay on target.
Let me think. I think there's one more chance for me to properly embarrass myself. But yeah, no, apart from that, it's all good. Incredibly important cutscene next. Very heart-wrenching. It's such a shame. Anyway, next up, I'm going to stick with that. I've got another boss fight now. There's these cowboys suddenly from nowhere. I'm going to try and shoot them with rockets. I'm actually really happy about how that went. There's a certain amount of places they can go, and there's a decent chance that the rockets will just sort of hit something right in front of them, and the splash damage just doesn't carry for some reason. Anyway, before we go, there's something important I've got to do. There we go. And not quite a run to the end, but a run to the next objective. There are snipers everywhere. I don't remember where, but they will shoot me. But that's fine, because they always do. I'll use this opportunity to kind of explain. So there is we are we're cheaters, basically. There is a form of pre-run manipulation we are allowed to do. It's to do with where the enemies spawn in a level. Enemy spawning is not random. There's 3 set locations they can be in. So it goes from location A, location B, location C. The way to reset where they spawn, it always goes A, B, C, A, B, C. The way to move on to the next point is to complete a level. So after each run is completed, there's a few levels where you just have to play through the level twice again in order to get back to the favorable spawn, and then only then you can attempt another run. So that's what we've done here. There's about 10 cameras in that room. You don't want to get seen by anything because that'll spawn some extra guards here and at the end of the level. Ooh, oh. There we go. Don't usually leave that guy alive, but I think it should be fine. So the reason we wanted to manipulate where everyone spawns on this level is we are looking for a Dr. Carroll, who you might remember from the first game as being a laptop. He's not a laptop now, he's just a man. But he's here, and this is the best location he can be in. I think there's 3 locations he can be in. All I know for sure is this is the one you want him to be in. It's by far the quickest. Down here, there would be 3 extra guys if the cameras had seen me. Oh, where are you going?
An unhandled exception.
And we're done. Now this next cutscene, very shocking. Absolute shock betrayal comes out of nowhere. Super twist. Anyway, I'm going to change everything up. Probably regret it. I should mention the way to unlock weapons is to find a weapon in a level and finish the level with that weapon equipped. Oh, I'll tell you what I did forget to do, which I always forget to do. There's 2 gadgets you can take in this. There's two main missions, basically. First mission is to hack a computer and get some data, and the second mission is to set some explosives so the bad guys can't chase us. Whichever one you choose to do, your AI team will do the other one. And it's a lot faster if you choose the hacking and leave them to do the demolitions, because the demolitions isn't essential. The game doesn't really care if you do it or not. And if you let the AI do the hacking, he takes absolute years to do it. It's funny, if you watch him, he does actually cycle through his idle animations when he's supposed to be doing it. So this is a pretty tricky one of these things. Played it a little bit safe there. You can do it quicker. There's a bit here. If you crouch here, you miss a trigger and you prevent bad guys from spawning in this room here. This would usually be, what, 5 or 6 guys, I think. So that's pretty nice. Some of them are armed with a psychosis gun, which doesn't do you any damage, but it blurs your vision. Somewhat horrible. It's not nice. So that's the first of 3 spots where they're going to want to set the bombs. He'll always get that bomb set. That's fine. He'll sometimes get the second bomb set. He'll never get the third one set. I should say he'll never get the third one set if I'm playing it a little more risky than what I'm going to do. He'll always die, basically. Your team are fine, but they're not very good at taking care of themselves. They do tend to get shot quite a lot. So there's 3 of them, and if all 3 die, I don't know what I did there. If all 3 die, it's a mission failure, and it's actually quite possible, quite likely in this level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a safety strat, just because I don't want to have to restart another level. That's the second bomb there. So here we trigger a checkpoint, and actually nobody's died yet, so I probably was okay to continue, but I find reloading the checkpoint increases their chances of survival quite significantly. It's not guaranteed, as I'm sure we'll find out, but I've had a lot more success doing it that way. Of course, if you're running the levels on their own, because we do have leaderboards for the full game and for the levels individually. Obviously, in the individual levels, you're not allowed to reload a checkpoint. It says objective failed there. That's the planting the bombs objective, because he didn't get around to planting the second one before I reloaded. So although I think he did do the third one, it still counts as being failed. Which is strange, because when you do it, like if you let the AI hack the data, and then, oh, there you go, it completed. I was going to say, when you let the AI hack the data and you do the bombs yourself, you only actually have to do the third one. There's one of them's gone. So yeah, if all 3 of them have a little picture there, it's bad news time.
How about a little bit of good news time? $7 donation in from SSB Maggie, who says, "I'll never complain about garbage again, Casssss."
That is good news, thank you. Less good news is this jetpack man. He is a pain, as you can see. I'm actually just going to wait till my health comes back. Please. Please? There we go. Just to be super, super safe. Thanks though, Maggie, and thanks everyone for donating and presumably watching.
I can tell you chat is really enjoying it, Cass.
Oh,
there's lots of discussion happening.
Oh, that's good. I should point out as well, this is the first time the game's been in a marathon. Or been heard of by anyone.
We're honoured to have you here.
Oh, thank you. This is my favourite level. It's got my favourite skip. Because it's so ridiculously stupid. So, as you saw in the cutscene there, our spaceship got shot down. And what we have to do is stay back and defend it. So there's 1,000 guys, and they're all, you know, they're trying to shoot the spaceship, because that's what you do if you're a bad guy. So we got to take out all of them and defend the ship, and then we can move on. But, you know, we're a little bit impatient. We just want to get to the end of the level, so we're going to move on anyway. Just going to bump the wall there. Oh, so we failed the mission. Now that is an important mission. You can't fail as a primary objective, so that was an actual mission failure. However, it also gave us a checkpoint, and it is actually doing something just there. Always hangs like that. Now we've completed the objective. So how the game handles mission failure is it doesn't pull you out of the mission. It just takes away your ability to interact with things. So in this level, I didn't even need to reload the checkpoint, because we could actually run to the end with the mission still having been failed, and it would still let us complete it, because we don't need to interact with anything else in the level. And for some reason, the mission fail state does not take away the trigger before ending the level. So you won't get the ending cutscene and you won't get any fanfare, but it will let you move on to the next level. And we'll be seeing that again a little bit later on. Obviously in an individual level run, you wouldn't be able to reload the checkpoint, so it is just a run to the end. However, it is faster, even with the 10-second or whatever it was pause it does for some reason. It is faster to reload the checkpoint, and the reason for that is just around this corner. You can see how slow the movement speed is with the gun out compared to unarmed. So we've got a jetpack of our own. There we go. I can never remember the controls to this thing. So yeah, the jetpack is what we interact with, which we wouldn't otherwise be able to unless we reloaded the checkpoint. And then you can just fly over everything. As you can see, there's quite a lot of men, and it is quite a pain to sort of run through them all. How do you get off this thing? Okay. And there we go. Now this, okay, this is probably the most, I'd say, visually impressive trick. Let me just try and remember what I need. I need a grenade, I need 2 of these pistols, and I'm gonna want also some mines. So a lot's gonna happen, and it's gonna look a little strange at first, but bear with me. So we're going to throw a grenade down here, take out 2 of these pistols, take explosive damage, go into cover, and start shooting this wall. As you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the camera. Now, the reason for this is, if you take explosive damage, and then take cover, if you get shot, you'll get pushed back through anything, basically. I think I should be far now. It was. Alright, watch me get stuck. Oh, no, we're good. Thank you. So, that level, it's sort of a race against time. You're supposed to go down all these levels and, you know, shoot all the guys, get past all the traps and stuff, but it's easier to, it's easier just to do that, really. I'll try and, I'm going to do it again in the next level. I'm going to try and explain that a little bit better. But in the meantime, I'm going to make an absolute meal of these dudes. These are phantoms, hardest enemies in the game. They've got plasma rifles, which is just big laser guns with infinite ammo, and they hit hard. Now there is a good way to take them out quickly by memorizing their spawns and planning accordingly. I've messed that right up, unfortunately, but we should be okay. I think this might be the last guy. Where's he gone? Is he? There he is. There he is. So that was very bad. However,
Captain, come in.
I'm very happy I didn't die. That was the embarrassing part I mentioned earlier. I'm going to keep those weapons because we're going to do the same trick on this level. So as soon as the cutscene finishes, going to swing round, throw a grenade, get the guns, put them away, take the explosive damage. Now this time we're going to go through that wall. There's nothing convenient to take cover against, so we're going to sort of make our own cover. No, that's not close enough. That might be okay. Yeah, that should be fine. It's not, though. This can take a while to get into proper position. That's normal. That's the price you pay.
Eyes on the exit.
I might do that, actually. So the reason we've got 2 of these guns is I'm holding down the fire button If you let go of the fire button, it interrupts the process and you just fall back in bounds. If you reload the gun, it interrupts the process and falls back in bounds. However, if you've got 2 guns, it cancels the reload animation. That might be far enough. I'm going to play it a little bit safe. Alright, here goes nothing. It was not far enough. Right, I'm going to try it one more time. And there's one other kind of flashy thing I can do as a backup, if not. So this trick was discovered by a runner called Shaved Throne, completely by accident. He'd taken some explosive damage and he just got fed up with whatever level he was playing. So he took cover and he just left the game. And when he came back, he'd noticed that he was halfway through the wall. And that was because enemies were shooting him into the wall. So he did some testing, worked out what was happening, and developed it to the trick you see now. The trick is getting a good angle. This seems like it might be fine. It is also, you can also run out of ammo, depending on how good the clip is. Okay, I'm slightly more confident with this one. I'm going to play it safe and push myself through a bit more. So we're trying to get in there. Can I do it this time? Is that... Alright, there we go. That's what it's supposed to be. So now we're out of bounds. This level is an absolute nightmare. Used to run this glitchless because we didn't know any of the glitches. I don't know how. I cannot do that anymore. I've tried. Oh, sort of worm my way up here. So what you're supposed to do is, all your team have been kidnapped, or captured or whatever. You're supposed to go fight 1,000 guys and rescue them, and then escort them all through the city, where there's another 1,000 guys on rooftops with sniper rifles. And it's the same deal. If 3 of your guys die, that's it, game over. But if you just leave them all behind, get out of bounds, and snake around this, and fall off. That's RNG manipulation. That's very important. But no, what happens, the level winds back on itself. So you take this big, long, winding path, and you kind of end up back where you started. So this is the end. This is the end of the level. Or the outside of the end of the level. Oh, please don't shoot me off. This wall is very bouncy. I'm always super nervous on that. Okay. I'm now going to attempt to get back in bounds. What I'm going to have to do is do a roll off of here, but then sharply turn to the right. Oh, like that. So this is the second part of the level, the boss arena. You're not supposed to be in here yet. The loading zone for it is actually through that archway. So that's where you'd end up. You take the route through the streets, 10,000 guys, and you'd be here to another boss fight. This is what I've got the mines for. So this is Mayhem again. She's in a hovercraft this time. She was in a hovercraft. And that's the last we'll see of her.
Can you read me?
Getting quite close to the end now, only 2 levels left. I'm going to change weapons one more time. This will do me for the last 2 levels. Okay. Oh, I am going to be overestimated, unfortunately. Probably from taking 10,000 deaths, but... so there's some jetpack men there, they're fine. This is another escort. You've just got one guy with you this time, but he's pretty strong. He doesn't usually die, so we don't need to worry about him too much. What we do need to worry about is him getting held up by being the hero and trying to take everyone out himself. So we will take some people out anyway, just so he doesn't get distracted. But not that guy, apparently. There is another guy up here. I said your man wouldn't get killed, but he will definitely get killed by this guy. So I'll take him out. This guy won't kill him, but he'll distract him, so I'll take him out too. Should be kind of just behind us. Another couple of guys here. Again, not a danger, but a distraction. There's another guy coming up here. There he is. There he goes. And here comes our friend Jonathan. Just got to guide him to the door down here. And we actually are pretty close to the end of the game, so shouldn't be too bad.
Thanks. Drinks on me when we get back,
Need him to open the door for us. I stand here because if you stand sort of over here, sometimes I'll just idle in front of the button instead of pushing it. And if you run slightly behind him, he actually goes faster than if you took the lead. I'm going to slap some men here to skip some dialogue to make this door open faster. And now Joe's had enough. We're actually going to go rogue. We're going to shoot this man. You might think, well, that's a strange thing to do. And yes, I agree. However, it's a useful thing to do. So obviously you notice our objective has failed. However, we don't need to interact with anything anymore, and the end level trigger is still active. So this is where the sword really comes into play. We're going to be using it pretty much the whole of this place. Again, the base movement speed is quite a bit slower, but it's worth it to counteract the stagger effect, and you take less damage also. And yeah, so there's just one level after this. It can be a very short level, it can be a very long level. Let me just get lost on a level I've played thousands of times. Sometimes there can be a phantom here. Not this time. Luckily it's not like a real phantom, not as hard as the other ones. Just like a junior phantom, I guess. Small phantom. Anyway, so usually you'd get here and it would be, oh, you complete the level, here, wait 3 seconds. But if you fail the mission on purpose, it just ends it straight away. Now, this is the final boss. This can be over in less than a minute, or it can take 3 or 4 minutes, depending on how he's feeling. Basically what you're trying to do is, shooting him doesn't hurt him, but if you do it enough, he gets annoyed and throws one of these pillars at you. Oh. So he sort of just jumps to random places. I don't know if there's really anything that'll make a difference. He's not jumping anywhere good though, which, you know, of course he's not. Marathon run. Are you gonna pick up that pillar, please? No, he's not. Oh, he is. Just the other one, okay. So when he does that, he's gonna jump down to say hi. What you're supposed to do is, he's got a sword. You're supposed to go up to him, roll to trip him up and steal his sword and use it against him. But I don't know how you'd know that. I've got a sword anyway, so it's fine. Time is coming up in about 10 seconds, by the way. So time will be when the cutscene plays, which for some reason happens 20 seconds after you complete the level. Time. Or crash, either one. There we go. So that's a world record. It's the longest run.
You know what? We'll take it. We take all sorts of records here.
Oh. No, do you know what? I apologize for running over, but I'm super happy to have been able to show the game off. Especially this screen,
Which it appears to have frozen on.
which it appears to have frozen on, yes. That's fine. Just won't get to see the amazing end cutscene, because we've enjoyed all the other cutscenes so far. So it's a shame not to be able to see the last one, but I'll make it brief. Thank you very much for having me on. If you want to find out more about this, because I didn't explain something well or something, if you go to perfectweb0.com, there's a link to the Discord, and you can ask us anything. And if it's a bad question, we'll laugh at you. But no, we'll answer anything. So yeah, hopefully this has inspired some people to maybe get into the game, maybe have a look at it, maybe realize it exists. But yeah, that's me. Won't take any more of your time. So thanks very much, guys.
Cass, we really appreciate you coming on and showing off Perfect Dark Zero for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A great run, no matter what you say there. We enjoyed it here in the room. I could tell chat enjoyed it. Thank you to chat and everybody for your donations. All of the money that we're raising goes towards Casssss and UKSG. I'll be back after this short commercial break to tell you a bit more about Casssss and the donation incentives that we have available for the upcoming runs. So I will see you in a few moments.